Well, afternoon from Casa Madhouse here in Spain. How are you all? I hope you're all fine. Whatever you're doing, wherever you are in the world. As you can see, I'm sitting here with Chico today, out in the garden house at Casa Madhouse. And here is today's conundrum. How can a dog double in age in 10 minutes? I'm going to tell you. If you stick around, let me tell you. Okay, so this is Chico, as I say. First of all, before I tell you the answer to the conundrum, let me tell you a little bit about Chico. So we came to Spain nearly 3 years ago now, and we'd been here about 3 or 4 months when we heard of a dog that was just wandering around the village. Nobody knew who he belonged to. A few of the villagers were feeding him. It's not unusual in this part of Spain for that to be happening, but word got about on Facebook and other social media channels and by word of mouth that there was this little dog wandering around, and did anyone know who he belonged to or if he did belong to anybody. And this dog turned out to be Chico. So we were out for a walk with the other dogs one day, and we actually saw Chico sitting at the foot of a young guy that was having something to eat in one of the cafes. And we presumed that he'd been found, and that was his owner, because he was just sitting at the feet of this guy. So we didn't do anything about it. We presumed that he'd been found and that all was well. But then a couple of weeks later, we heard that he was still wandering around the village, and that nobody had come forward to claim him. And he must just have taken a liking to this guy and been sitting there in the hope of getting some food. So, as I say, a few people were feeding Chico, putting some food down outside, but the weather at the time was getting pretty nasty. Remember we had a lot of rain at the time, and when nobody came forward, we said, well, okay, let him come up to us where we lived at the time, and we've got an outside shelter, and we can leave it open for him, and at least he can come and get some shelter whilst we're trying to find who he belongs to. Well, Chico came to us and he lasted in our shelter for not even a whole night. Before he made it very clear he really didn't want to spend the night in the shelter. He really would much prefer to spend the night in our bed. And that was that, really. The rest is history. We did try to find him when it became clear that nobody was going to come forward and take claim to him. We did try to find him with the help of a brilliant local charity called APSA. We did try to find him a home. We fostered him whilst we were all actively trying to seek him a new home and a new loving family. But nobody came forward, did they, Chico? Nobody came forward for Chico. And after a few months, as always happens, you get very attached to them. And we said, well, he can't go anywhere now, can he? So we officially adopted him. At this point, we took him to the vets. I think we'd taken him to the vets before that, actually, to be health checked and so on and so forth. But we took him to the vets. The vets obviously did all his worming and fleeing and started his vaccinations, etc. And said that he thought he was about a year and a half at the time. And we got him a Spanish passport. Doggies will have Spanish passports out here once they're official. And he put his date of birth down. Let me just check. As the 1st of May 2020. There we go. You can see that. 1st of May 2020. So, we kind of figured that by now Chico would be about 4 and a bit years old, roughly. We knew it was only rough. We knew that the vet had hazarded a guess. So that's what we were thinking, that Chico was about 4 and a bit years. Fast forward to last week, and we took Chico to the vets because he developed a little bit of a cough, and I was a little bit concerned about him. We were both a bit concerned about him, as you would be. Now the vets decided to do a quick X-ray for Chico, and unfortunately came out and said that his heart is slightly enlarged. What we're going to do is he's on some antibiotics and medication at the moment. We're hoping that that factor is due to the fact that he's got an infection because his temperature's slightly raised. But there is a possibility that it could be a little problem with his heart. We'll just wait and see about that. But while we were there, the vet said that this dog is not 4 and a bit years old. He's pretty sure Chico is actually about 8 years of age. And so you see, when we walked into the vets, Chico, as far as everyone knew, was 4 years old. When we walked out of the vets, Chico was officially 8 years of age. And that is how a dog doubles in age in the space of about 10 minutes. Poor Chico. Final thoughts. It's a good job that doesn't happen to all of us, because if I walked into a doctor's and walked out 10 minutes later and found out I was double the age, I'd be 108. So I'll leave you with that thought. I don't know if any of you worked out how a dog doubles in age in 10 minutes. If you did, well done. I'll be surprised though. Anyway, have a great day, and we'll catch up with you really soon. Lots of love, and bye from Castle Madhouse. Bye.